So I'm 39 years old. I'll be 40 later this year. And in today's video, I want to share with you 25 surprising lifestyle changes that I made to make getting ripped and lean incredibly easy. And I'm going to start with probably a few that you may never have heard of before, that may come as a surprise. The first one is that I stopped eating breakfast for the majority of my adult life, from the age of whenever I could start making memories to around the age of 25, 26. We'll call it almost 2.5 decades. I subscribe to the idea that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And what ended up happening was I would eat breakfast, my appetite would start to get out of control. I would start grazing throughout the day because I naturally just have a bigger appetite. And I think it also probably comes down to being a guy who used food as a stress relief for a lot of his childhood. But anyway, my appetite would get out of control. And so my morning breakfast would then spark overeating throughout the day. Then I would get to dinner time where I'm actually the most hungry and I would eat massive amounts of food. So I had a hard time sticking to a calorie deficit. So I started cutting out breakfast when a really awesome fitness coach told me about fasting in my mid 20s. He said, listen, breakfast is whenever you break your fast. So it doesn't have to be first thing in the morning. It can literally be whenever you decide to break your fast. And then if you want to, you could even switch to eating a big dinner and a tiny breakfast. So not only have I adopted this fasting schedule into my day-to-day routine now for the past 15 years, but I've done it with my clients too. So what a lot of our clients do who still want to eat something in the morning is they'll keep a protein shake handy if they need something just for energy or to, just have something in their stomach. But we save most of our cooking and eating for dinner time. Huge lifestyle change. It's made sticking to my nutrition plan way easier. The second thing is I like to go for walks after I eat, even if it's just for 2 minutes. I notice that my digestion is better. It's a sneaky way of getting in more activity. So my step count stays high, especially if I'm in fat loss mode. And if guys who are struggling to lose weight because they're sedentary simply use some of their eating time to walk, not only will they improve their output in terms of calories burned, but they're also going to see noticeable improvement in digestion, how they feel after they eat. All the things that most guys struggle with are going to start getting fixed rapidly when we add in a little bit of walking after a meal. Okay. Now, the next thing is I started making strength training more of a priority. Okay. So what I did was I cut back on the heavy amounts of volume that I was doing in my day-to-day workouts, right? Like endless amounts of sets, endless amount of reps. And I simply put a lot of focus into getting stronger. All right. A lot of guys who struggle with not having enough time, feeling rushed, feeling selfish because now workout time is cutting into family time. We give them 10-minute workouts. Okay. 10-minute workouts that focus on one or two exercises and just getting strong on those things. You'd be shocked at how awesome you will look when you focus on getting stronger. Okay. Now, by the way, just as a side note, I have a copy of my top 100 10-minute workouts that we give our clients. If you want a copy, just comment the word workouts below. I'll add you to our free coaching group. Not only will you get the workouts, but you'll get access to years of material that will help you get to a place where you feel good about your body. Okay. And start changing the way you think around fitness. It doesn't have to be complicated. I think one of the biggest issues with guys these days is they'll do everything under the sun except the simple stuff that works. So we want to fix that. Okay. Moving on to number 4 is alcohol. So I have not completely cut out alcohol or anything like that. I'm not one of those guys that's going to tell you you can't drink alcohol. Like, I know it's not the greatest thing for you. I understand. You don't have to tell me. I know it's a toxin. But if you enjoy a glass or two of wine here and there, or a mixed drink from time to time, you don't have to cut it out completely. What I have done is I've cut out the high sugar, high calorie drinks, and I stick to mostly vodka based drinks or a couple glasses of wine. That's how I operate with alcohol. And honestly, I keep alcohol to a couple times a month usually. If it's more than that, it's because I'm in a season of celebration, vacation, whatever. But I don't stress being alcohol free. If that's for you, great. That's something you should do and you feel called to do. I strongly encourage you to do that. But if you're like, hey, I still want to have some alcohol and partake in some fun with friends or spouse or whatever, you can still do that. But it's good to switch to lower calorie options. That's something that made a massive difference in my body's ability to get lean, control my calories, control my appetite, and just feel better. Okay. Um, the next thing is, instead of wasting tons of time focusing on supplementation, which I did early on back in my teenage years, man, I used to be a regular at GNC. Any paycheck I would get from working jobs and mowing the lawns and all that stuff, I would rush to GNC. I'd buy Cell Tech, Nitro Tech, creatine, all the things I could afford as a young guy starting to lift weights. And I was so bought into the idea that supplements were the magical pill. It took me a while to break that habit and focus on the things that are actually, in some ways, magical. One being sleep. All right. If you're not sleeping well, if you're sleeping less than 6 hours a night, if you're staying up late, getting up early, if you're drinking before you go into bed, if you're watching stuff on your cell phone and you can't go to sleep because you're too distracted or your brain's working too hard, you're missing out on some massive, massive advantages that sleep provides. Number one being you're not eating when you're sleeping. Okay. You're trying to lose fat, sleep for 7 hours. Well, that's 7 hours of the day that you're not eating. You're recharging your body. You're waking up feeling refreshed. You're more likely to go to the gym when you have a good night's sleep. You're more likely to stick to your nutrition plan when you sleep well. Your mood is better. Okay. So, what I would suggest is focus on sleep versus all these supplements and all these things out there. We'll talk about more of this stuff as we go along, but let's talk about the next one, which is I have mastered my go-to restaurant orders. All right, this is a huge thing because I used to stress going out to eat, right? When I was in full-blown fat loss mode, when I was 65 pounds overweight, oh my goodness, it was the craziest thing. I would like get anxiety about going out to eat because I wasn't prepping that food. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get fat, right? But then I realized it's really just about choosing meals that allow me to control the calories and get enough protein. That's it. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that. In fact, inside my book, Diets Suck, I talk about some of my favorite restaurant meals that I eat, but I also have a resource for you. It's our restaurant survival guide. So if you're a guy who eats out a lot and you're like, what should I eat at restaurants? You want to pick that guide up? I'll give it to you for free. Just comment the word diet suck on this video. I'll send you a free copy of my book inside our free group, and I'll give you the restaurant survival guide too, if you're interested in getting that. So this is the stuff we do with our clients. So I've been working with guys who are business owners, executives. They run, tech companies. They run financial planning firms, guys who work in IT, guys who are law enforcement, guys who just have demanding careers, who have a family. I've been working with guys like that for the better part of 15 years. And what I can tell you is a lot of these guys eat out, right? And they're not going to stop. And that's okay. You don't have to. You don't have to stop eating out. What you need to stop doing is choosing crazy high calorie meals at restaurants. Choose things that are more filling, but less calories. All right. And I can tell you right now, it makes a huge difference. Here's another cool thing I did. I wear a weight vest. Okay. A weight vest for some of my daily activities, like walking. Okay. Sometimes if I'm just doing like a workout that doesn't require too much stability in my upper body, I'll wear a weight vest. Why? Because you're burning more calories when you're carrying more weight. Like, it's pretty cool. You start losing weight, you lose 20 pounds. So on a weight vest that's 20 pounds, go for your morning walk. You're going to burn more calories that way. And in effect, you're going to speed up the fat loss process. Okay. Simple thing. Most people don't even realize they can do. Throw a weight vest on. You'll start to get results faster when you're doing your cardio. Okay. Here's another thing. I eat a lot of the same meals every day, specifically lunch. My first meal, which is technically breakfast because I'm breaking my fast. But for lunch, I eat a lot of the same things. Sometimes it's yogurt bowl. Sometimes it's English muffins with a couple eggs. My wife made a couple eggs for me this morning with a couple pieces of toast for lunch. Really easy stuff. Sometimes it's a protein bar with a protein shake. Okay. But it's like 3 or 4 options at the most. And I don't overthink it. I just eat it. Okay. Because I know it hits my calories. It keeps me feeling good. I like the taste enough. It's not crazy delicious where I want more of it, but it's enough good taste to enjoy myself for about 5 minutes. And then it's less thinking, less overthinking, especially, and less decision fatigue, right? We're just surrounded with so many decisions, guys. Don't make food another thing that's a calculus equation. Think about it like this. When we get up every day, we brush our teeth, we put clothes on, we go to our car, we're making subconscious decisions the entire time because it's like we've done it a million times. We don't need to overthink any of that stuff. But when it comes to food, we sit there and go, oh my gosh, what should I do? What should I order? Should I try something new? Should I make something different? It's like, no, do the same thing all the time, as assuming it's the right thing, of course. Okay. Assuming it's the right thing. The next thing, track steps instead of cardio. Okay. I used to go in the gym every morning and do 45 minutes of fasted cardio. I can't do that anymore as a father. I have one block during my day where I get a workout in at the most. And usually that's not every day. It's like 5 days a week where I got to fill that with either a lifting session, maybe a run if I'm in running season for fun stuff, or it might just be a walk. But I can't do double sessions. I say I can't. I'm not going to make time for double sessions because I got other things that are a priority. My family, my wife, my business, my team, those are priorities. Okay. So I'm not going to go to the gym twice. So instead, what I've done now is I track my steps throughout the day. I don't go, all right, I got to do 35 minutes of cardio for the next 3 weeks, and I'm going to bump it to 45 minutes, and I'm going to come back in the evening, I'm going to lift weights. I don't have that kind of flexibility anymore. And you probably don't either. You probably have nowhere near that amount of free time, and neither do I. So I track steps instead of cardio. The next thing is I've cut out hidden liquid calories. Okay. I used to drink sport drinks because I thought I needed more hydration or whatever. But it was like over the course of a day, it's a few hundred calories. Over the course of a week, it's over a couple thousand calories. And I'm like, why can't I lose fat? Well, because I'm drinking these calories that don't feel like I ate anything at all. You know, you go to Starbucks, you order a 400 calorie Starbucks drink. You have that, that cocktail that's 200 calories. You don't even realize it. I cut out as much calories, liquid calories as possible. If I have a soda, it's a Diet Coke, no calories. If I have an iced tea, I order a 0-calorie iced tea and I'll put a couple packets of stevia or Splenda in there to sweeten it up. I know it's whatever. You can say what you want about artificial sweeteners. I don't care. Okay. I don't care. There's 0 calories. All right. That's the 10th thing I do is I cut out the hidden liquid calories as much as possible. Okay. I do plan out what I call treat meals. I plan them out like a CEO. All right. I plan them out like someone who has to be strategic, wants to control as much as possible, and still enjoy my life. Typically, my treat meals are date nights with my wife. We go to the movies. I might grab a little thing of M&Ms or something, right? We go out to dinner. We might have an appetizer and maybe share a dessert. It's a treat meal. It's not a cheat meal because it's part of my plan. Okay. I plan it out. I don't just go based off feeling, eat whatever I want. There might be times of the year where I do eat whatever I want. Like we're going to go on vacation here in a couple months and we're going to Mexico. And guess what? I'm probably going to eat whatever I want. And that's okay. It's still technically part of the plan. Okay. All right. Here's the other thing, using temperature therapy to either do one of two things: wake me up, put me to sleep. In the morning, cold exposure is good to wake you up, good to get you more alert, get you woken up. You could do a cold shower, you could do an ice plunge, you could just go outside when it's cold. You will be awake very fast. Your body has to heat up, it builds alertness, and it wakes up your brain. At night, I do the opposite: hot shower before bed so that my body has to cool down, or I'll sit in a sauna. I have a sauna in my garage. Yes, I'm one of those spoiled people who has a sauna in his garage. How dare I, right? But I do hot stuff at night because it cools me down, or my body has to cool me down after. And that cooling feeling, that cooling exercise that the body has to go through will help me fall asleep. Okay. Remember this: cold when you want to wake up, heat when you want to go to sleep. By the way, I put together a whole like jumpstart plan that includes some of this kind of stuff, like biohacking stuff, if you want to jumpstart just your overall body transformation. If you comment the word plan on this video, I will send you a link to join our free coaching group for free, and you can get access to that training along with the other ones I mentioned earlier in the video. And yeah, I'll send it to you. Of course, of course. Someone asked, because we're recording this live, by the way, if I work out on vacation. Joshua asked, and the answer is yes. I love getting up in the morning on vacation and going to do a workout, even if it's a run wherever I am, or just going for a walk outside wherever I am. I start my day with a workout when I'm on vacation for sure. Okay, next thing I've done is I only shop from a grocery list. I create a list before I go to the grocery store. This might sound elementary, but going to the grocery store with just like an idea of like, I don't know what I'm going to get. Let me just see what I like. Terrible idea when you're dieting. Terrible idea. You're going to pick stuff up that you're like, why did I even pick that up? Your appetite is going to mislead you. So stick to the list. All right. That's number 13. Number 14, whenever I'm taking calls, I walk. All right. So instead of sitting, I walk. I go literally walk around my house, walk around the neighborhood, walk around my office. I don't sit if I'm on a phone call. If I'm recording something on a Zoom, I have to sit. Sometimes I might stand up and use a walking pad, but most of the time when I'm taking a call, I'm walking. Okay. Here's another thing too. If you're getting deep into a fat loss phase and you're struggling a little bit with appetite, swap out your big plates for small ones. I know it sounds like such a silly strategy, but it's all psychological sometimes. When you see a plate that's full of food, you're like, wow, I get to eat all that. When you see a big plate, same amount of food, but it looks smaller because the plate's bigger, psychologically, you might feel a little bit underwhelmed, right? And like, oh, that's kind of sucks, man. I'm eating like a little tiny meal. Okay. Um, I Okay, one thing I didn't do, this is number 16, is I didn't remove creamer from my coffee. I know a lot of guys say just drink your coffee black. Nope, not me. I like creamer in my coffee. That's just how it's going to be. I don't pour insane amounts of creamer in my coffee, but I keep creamer in my coffee. So something surprising that I didn't do was I didn't stop drinking coffee creamer. I add it to my coffee. It's amazing. Okay. Let's see, what else have I done? Okay, so before bed, I have a simple strategy. I wear blue light blockers. Okay, blue light blockers before bed. This helps me fall asleep much faster. I've noticed a massive difference, and I don't wear them like for very long. It's usually for like 45 minutes before I want to go to sleep, but it makes a huge difference. One thing I do is I do eat at night, but I try my best to give myself at least an hour before I want to fall asleep with food. I'm not always perfect with it, but one change I made to just sleep better, which obviously impacts fat loss tremendously, is cut my food off about an hour before sleep. It's not magical. It's like, it's still calories in, calories out, guys, but digestion wise, I feel better when I don't eat right at bedtime, but like have a little something about an hour before. That typically hits the spot. Okay. I did mention walking on phone calls. The other thing is, whenever possible, I like to stand when I'm working. So if I just like typing away on emails or creating written content, if I can, I'll put my laptop on a surface where I can stand up. Once again, it reminds me to take a break. It also keeps me more awake, right? Like when you're sitting, you just get so lethargic and you're just like, oh man, I just want to like take a nap, right? Someone asked, because I am recording this live, what are your thoughts on sugar-free soda? I love sugar-free soda in moderation. A Diet Coke, great, right? To kill off a craving versus you drinking a full calorie soda that adds unnecessary calories to your day. I'm a huge fan. I think we got to stop trying to be perfect and do what works. Okay. And yes, the cream breaks the fast, someone asked. And guess what? I'm not trying to fast for religious purposes right now. I'm just not eating real food. So a little bit of creamer that's maybe 70, 80 calories doesn't jumpstart my appetite. At least for me, it doesn't. Okay. I'm just trying to keep my appetite at bay. And then I usually have a coffee. So just so you know, my coffee is not first thing in the morning. So I have a pre-workout that's basically like, it's like 5 calories, I think, no more than that. I have that as my caffeine in the morning. I go work out, I do some work, and then I'll have a coffee usually right around this time, like 12-ish. Okay. I know I'm weird. I have 2 servings of caffeine, but that's when I have coffee. I'll have a creamer then. So yeah, I break my fast, but I'm already at lunchtime and then I'll have like a lunch shortly thereafter. Okay. So, I don't know if you guys can hear me okay, but someone said get closer to my mic. Oh my gosh. Am I okay, guys? Can you guys hear me okay? Hopefully you can. Maybe you got to turn up your volume, sir. No, I'm just kidding. Well, hopefully you can hear me. No harm, no foul. Hopefully you can hear me. The other thing is my pre-bed meal is always typically the same thing. One of two things: protein bars, or I'll have rice cakes with a little bit of sugar-free whipped cream. I know it's weird, with a protein shake. Okay. It just hits the sweet tooth that I have. Okay. the sweet tooth that I have, which some of us have a sweet tooth, some of us don't. And if you do, I like to have a little sweet something before bed. All right. And it's not high in sugar. It just tastes sweet. Okay. And I like that. It helps me sleep better. Weird, maybe, but it helps me stay on track. Okay. So then I installed what I call the 30-minute rule for cravings. Okay. So if I'm craving something insane, right? Like, oh my gosh, I just want to order a pizza. I got to give it 30 minutes to think it through and give some options to my brain before I decide to order a pizza. What ends up happening is I usually choose a better option, which is like, hey, I could order that pizza, or I could just make a pizza in the next 30 minutes and control the calories and enjoy a pizza guilt-free. All right. So the 30-minute rule is also important to give you a buffer between what you want now and what you really want long-term. So if you still want it after 30 minutes, maybe have some of it, but most of the time you won't. Most of the time you'll go for a walk or you'll do other things. You'll get busy and be like, why was I even craving that? Right? Just cravings are going to come and they're going to go. So give that 30 minutes. Okay. Another nutrition tip. I keep junk food out of sight as much as possible. I am a Nutella fiend. Okay. I love Nutella. If I see Nutella, I'm probably going to have a spoonful. So my wife doesn't tell me when she brings it in the house. If it's there, I don't know where it is. I don't go looking for it. It's not sitting out front and center for me to just tackle it and eat it. Okay. So I keep junk food out of sight. Really, really important. Another thing, another rule, we have the 30-minute rule. We also have the 10-minute rule. Okay. The 10-minute rule is for workouts. When I don't feel like working out, first of all, I get my butt up and I go do it for 10 minutes. If I still don't feel like working out after 10 minutes of doing the workout, then I'll stop for the day. Most of the time, though, I'm happy I did the 10 minutes and I'll happily keep going. Speaking of 10 minutes, we have our 10-minute workout guide. If you want a copy, just comment workouts. I'll send you the link to get in to our free coaching group, and you'll get a copy of our 10-minute workout guide for free. Everything's for free until you're ready to jump into our VIP program, which, by the way, you can learn more about in the description of this video. But we don't accept everybody. It's really only for guys who are ready to invest in accountability at a high level, who are like, hey, I'm sick and tired of trying to do this on my own. I want a coach. I want someone to be there every step of the way. And I want to be surrounded by other people who are like literally getting better with this stuff day by day so that their success rubs off on me and I'm influenced to do what I know I need to do. And I know doing it on my own is just not working. I need to get someone to tell me exactly what to do. I don't want to do guesswork. That's our VIP program. But if you just want the workouts for now, or you want to explore our program, see what we're all about, we build a relationship with you, just comment the word workouts and I'll send it to you. Okay. And Joshua, you might have to come back and comment again if you don't see me send you the link. Just come back and comment once the video is posted, brother. All right, I'll take good care of you. Because I am recording this live, though. I will do my best to get it over to you. But just comment again if you don't see your comment. Cool. How often should a person be working out? Well, I would say it's up to your schedule. Whatever you can consistently do week in and week out and not miss workouts is probably the best bet. A lot of our guys train 3 days a week. Some train 2 days a week. Some train 6 days a week. All right. No one size fits all will work for everybody. So it's what you can do consistently, make time for, put it on your calendar and knock it out week after week for a very long period of time. Okay. Which leads me to number 25, which is focus on consistency, not perfection. I can't stress this enough, guys. Your identity cannot be tied to being perfect because you will always fail then, right? No one's perfect. No one hits it right all the time. You have to focus on being consistent. And over time, you will find that your progress is 10 times better than chasing perfection. Perfection is a myth. Can't tell you how many times I beat myself up over the years trying to chase perfection in many different parts of my life, when really all I should have been focused on is how can I just be a little bit more consistent? How can I do things that don't require calculus and crazy, strategies in order to do? I want to do things that are simple, streamlined, and sustainable. That's my methodology. That's how I built our fitness coaching program that served thousands of people over the past 15 years. It's simple stuff. Where we shine is coaching and community. Our systems are simple, man. You'll be able to figure it out quickly. You'll be like, wow, I can't believe it's this easy. But what keeps you going is someone telling you what you need to hear, not always what you want to hear, and a community of other people who are winning. So you're like, oh, I want to win too, right? That's the secret, man. Like that's it. So last thing I'll say is if you want to copy my free book, Diet Suck, just comment the word Diet Suck on this video. I'll send it to you. Yeah, someone said, I don't eat breakfast either. Just take a protein shake. I love that. That's awesome, man. That's what a lot of my clients do too. That's super smart. Love that. Love that. Love that. Love that. All right. Your next step is to watch my latest video I posted. I think it was a couple days ago, talking about some of the things that will help you get lean for the summer. I'll tell you right now what the video is called, so you can go check it out. That's your next step if you want to continue learning. But yeah, it's a fat loss routine. I posted a fat loss routine every man should follow. Go check that one out next. All right. And see you soon. Have a great rest of your day.